Hey everybody, this Berkey filter has a secret. That's right, it's got a custom modification called silver inside. So stay tuned and we'll check out how you can modify one of these awesome water filters. Welcome everybody, it's WildWest Stacker. I hope you're having a great day. And this is actually a special episode to me. I've been wanting to make this for a while. And it does do with silver, but we're also going to be talking about the most important thing out there. That's right, water. We're made up of more than half water. What is it, like 60%? I still think it's more than that. But I'm going to show you how I treat my water. I know most of you might be on city water, but this is how you deal with water when you live out in the middle of nowhere. So my well is about 200 feet deep. It's right below our lake, actually. We get water at only about 30 to 40 feet, though. And I kid you not, this is actually how clear it comes out right out of the faucet. Super clear. And just to let you know, yes, we drank this, my family, especially my wife. She said she went 6 years straight of drinking this and really no issues. So it is a really, I don't know, a controversial thing. Do you need to filter it? I don't know. I guess it depends on what it looks like, and you need to test it, which brings it up to the first tool of the trade is a TDS tester, and this stands for Total Dissolved Solids, and it's usually measured in ppm, which is parts per million. This has a little battery, I think 3 little batteries in the back here. You just insert this into the water right to there, and it will give you a reading. In fact, let's just do it right now. So we're at 0. You just hold it down in the water like that for a few seconds. Oh, I'm getting some numbers. Let me move it forward just a touch. Okay, so we are at 134 parts per million. Pretty awesome. Now I'm going to let that dry out. Set this down on the side. And now let's talk about the parts per million. Now, our well water is extremely clean. Most water in the US, you want to have it below 300 parts per million. I believe the threshold's about 350 or 375, and then you need to definitely do something about it. But I mean, I have used this TDS tester on spring water right from the store, and I've gotten readings as high as 260, 270 just from spring water. And that's not all bad. Remember, you do want some minerals, you do want some silicas in your water. That's important. All right, so then, boom, I got the Berkey. And this is filtered Berkey water that I just poured. All these I just poured. And honestly, you really can't tell any difference in the coloring because really they are so similar. All right, now this has reset back to 0. Let's go ahead and put it in the Berkey well filtered water and see what we get. All right, pretty good. So it's about 121, we'll say. Wow, so it dropped it by about 20 parts per million. And let's just not count the air because there could be some parts per million that is stuck on the metal that I'm not letting it dry. But this is just a quick test to show you. These Berkey filters do work. And remember, this Berkey does have a secret trick in it. I put some silver in there. Let's just quick cut to that. I want to show everybody how I put a silver piece inside of my Berkey filter. And also let's just take a look at the charcoal filters inside of it. All right, now this is one of the larger Berkeys. I believe they call this the Imperial. So you take the lid off and you can see it's got 2 different filters inside. And these are charcoal filters right here and here. They have changed these out recently. In years past, they used ceramic balls and those would wear out a little quicker. They still use those in refrigerators most of the time. Let's take a look inside. Wow, it looks really clear. I'm not surprised with how clean our water is. And somewhere in there, there's a little fishy. Where'd he go? There's a silver fish in there somewhere. Huh. I can find him. Oh, there he is. Okay, let me pull him out. So guys, this is live. I'm pulling out after 6 months. And here's my fish from my friend Fish. He actually gave this one to me. It's a little 1 ouncer. Number 1215. And so that's how I'm purifying my water. The filters actually filter it into the lower chamber, but the minute any of the water touches the silver, bam, purified. And it only takes a matter of seconds. So let's go take a look at some testing I've done to show how that works. Cool that we could maybe try. We're gonna take this raw well water here. And where are we at? Was it like 140, I think? 144 it's showing right now. Okay, so what can you add to something that makes it less? The only thing I've found is silver. All right, so we're gonna take just a silver round here. Which one should we use? Oh, here we go. It's a peace dollar round, so it's 1 ounce fine silver. Let's see, it says copy right there, and this is made by the 9 Fine Mint. Just a round, nothing special. We're gonna drop it in the water. Ooh, good thing it didn't break. And here's the crazy thing. I've noticed it only takes about 10 to 15 seconds for it to completely filter a full glass of water like that. So let's go ahead and shake off our tester. Remember, we're at 144. And look at that. We're now at 139. Crazy, huh? So by adding 1 ounce of silver, we have somehow decreased the parts per million by 5. Whoa. Isn't that crazy? I never learned anything in school where you add something and you actually get a negative result. So I think that's why silver is so special, guys. We tend to forget how magical this is. And yes, I have drank even spring water by just putting some silver in there. Never got sick. It's just fine. And so that brings me to my next point is, listen, we all love stacking this shiny stuff, right? Ooh, look how pretty it is. It's nice and shiny. It's 3 nines, it's 4 nines. But I want to show some older coins now because these are very old. This one's from the 1700s. It's one of the shipwreck coins. It was an 8th real. And this one I was told it was from the 1600s from the Netherlands, I believe. I don't know which coin it is, but I just want to show you guys how precious silver used to be. When you turn this coin, look how thin this is. Holy cow. I mean, by its age, I'm guessing this has been cleaned. Let's see here. You can see some little inscriptions on there. But we do not respect silver in our current century. No. Let's take a look at this 1/8 reals. And I know everybody likes collecting the big one-piece reals, but in all honesty, this is what was used for trade, barter, purchases. Just little, tiny, thin pieces of silver. Look at that. And then this is weird because this one it's a shipwreck, and the 2 coins actually melted together by an acidic erosion from the salt water. So this is actually 2 coins that melded together is the best way to describe it. Look how thin that is for 2 coins. Insane, right? Wow, I'm gonna lose these. I better put these somewhere I don't lose them. Okay, let's keep talking about why we don't respect silver. This is a knife that I purchased. Lucky find on eBay. Yes, it was. You open it up, and this was called a fruit knife. This one dates back to, I believe it was the 1730s. And how you can tell that is by the engraving marks right here. Let's try to get up close, see if it'll show. I know there's a navy symbol and a lion on the left. Okay, so the anchor in the middle, lion on the left, and I don't know what's on the right. So that's why I can't tell you the year, but I know it was in the 1730s. And just look how beautiful this was. They had intricate designs. Somebody had their initials put on it. Was it MRK? It stands for Merc. Some beautiful flowers, but even look at the spine. They had beautiful designs all the way down. And this was a fruit knife that, if I can get this thing out of here, there we go. So you had your fruit pick, and this pick right here you would actually use to get your nuts out. That's right, boys, get your nuts out. And we don't have stuff like this anymore. Why? Because we're obsessed with stainless steel. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I've been carrying just a newer kind of knife like this. Would I cut an apple with it? Yeah, I'd still cut an apple with this one, but this was the way to go back then. Because not only could it cut, but it sanitized everything. Because silver has a magical property. Any element it comes into contact with, it purifies that element as well. So if you have copper touching silver, it's still going to purify. Crazy, huh? All right, let's show another old piece of silver since we're kind of on this track. Let's see here now. Ooh, heart. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, so I have searched far and wide on eBay and I find cool stuff like this knife, well, this is another cool thing. This is a sterling silver ring, and I want to say it's from the old days, as in old days. Look at this. So this was a ballerina, and yes, it is an insignia. So if you get some hot wax, and I've done that before, you could stamp it, and you're going to get, oh, that kind of worked for a little bit. A little bit, you can use it on your hand. But anyway, she will actually leave this imprint, and that's how they used to do things. You would wear this on your pinky ring. Yeah, people tell me giants didn't exist. I'm sorry, but I think giants existed. Remember, this was a woman's ring, and she wore this on her pinky. How tall was this woman? How big was she? I mean, if she was a ballerina, or at least in charge of them, I'm assuming she wasn't a huge fat lady. So what was this? Just a giant wearing it on her pinky? And the other crazy thing about really old silver is, look, they used to do designs on their jewelry all the way around. Now that is coming back recently, but I know during the 80s and 90s you never saw that. Usually it was just a ring, and they pressed it on and they had the design. The other thing is, look, there's no stamp marks anywhere. It doesn't say 925, it doesn't say 999. And I think that's because they just trusted each other back then. They didn't need to say it was fake. They could tell. All right, I am back with a fresh glass of well water straight from the tap. There's that silver round that I took out. All right, now let's try something different. I'm actually going to take my ring off my finger, and yes, this is a pure silver ring. It's even stamped on the inside by Anarchy Precious Metals 999. Well, let's see if it will actually work to purify the water in a pinch. Now remember, this probably has oils on it. I have been wearing it. So let's get a baseline first. Again, we're around that 140, so let's see here. Just give it a few seconds. Okay, so we're at 140. Now I'm just going to take my ring. Remember, this is the one I had on. There it goes. You can see the mark right there. We're just going to wait a few seconds again to let it do its thing. Shake this bad boy out. Okay, and we are back to 0. So let's go ahead and measure and see if just wearing a dirty ring can purify your water. And look at that, 135, 134. So it lowers it by about 5 parts per million, let's per se. Wow. Isn't that crazy? Look at that, 133. That's 7 parts per million right there. Lucky number 7. All right, so I hope you guys learned something. Look at how awesome this thing is called silver. So maybe you guys will respect it a little more. I know I'm starting to as well, getting into the old collectible stuff like knives. And of course, this cool Berkey filter with the silver. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. This is Wild West, and I just want to say, everybody have a good one.